I spent most of my 20s working at a variety of stores as a stocker, basically just putting products on the shelves all day. After a few years though, I took a job at a common pet store that required me to work at multiple locations. I basically get a small van full of boxes every day, and I drive to all the stores in the area and fill their shelves. Then drop the van off at warehouse when I finish. The thing about this job though was that I pick up the van at 2 p.m. so I wouldn't get out until 12. But most nights I would take much longer and I have to do 1 to 2 hours of overtime. This wasn't too big of a deal for me because with the overtime I was making really good money, but the shift did make it hard to have a normal life. Anyways, I had been doing it for several months already, and it was just like every other shift. It was 11 p.m. and I was heading to the last store, which meant I probably wouldn't get back to the warehouse until 1 a.m. Obviously the pet store closed at 9, so I always be the only one there. There was a small dock in the back that I could pull my van next to and then take my dolly out the roll the boxes in. So I pull up as usual and unlock the door to the building. I rolled in the 3 large stacks of boxes and began moving each box to the aisle that the product belonged to. When I heard a small thud from the front of the store, I looked up and stood there quietly for a few seconds, then went back to the work. After there were no more noises, I did get creeped out sometimes when I'm working in the stores alone at night, but I got used to. At this point, when buildings are quiet, you can hear a sound you normally didn't, like air conditioning turning on and off. So I figured the noise was just another random sound that the building made. I finished unloading the boxes to the aisles and began opening them and stacking the product. I was probably halfway down and nearly 45 minutes in when I heard a distinct sound of the single cough echo through the building. Oh, I froze, starting at the front of the store again. I could feel my heart instantly start racing as I was absolutely terrified. Nobody was supposed to be here, and I knew that if they didn't have a bad intentions, then they would have said something. When I came in, after waiting for almost a minute, I slowly and quietly started stepping towards the back door. Once I made it outside, I shut the door and locked it. Feeling much safer now, I got into my van and pulled my phone out to call 911. Just as I did that, I heard the footsteps rushing towards the door from the inside, followed by the door handle moving slightly. The door was key-locked, so I knew that wouldn't to be able to open it, but it was still terrifying and made my adrenaline start pumping. Then loud, harsh banging and possibly even kicking come from the other side of the door. The man started yelling, pleading with me to let him out. I could hear the anger and rage in his voice. I didn't respond and hurried to call the police. As I was on the phone, the man was swearing and cursing, repeatedly hitting the door and aggressively trying to get it open. Once the operator said the police were on their way, I turned the van on and moved further down away from the door. I knew I should have been safe and just drive far away, but part of me wanted to make sure that this guy didn't escape before the police arrived. Thankfully, they got there very quick. I met them at the door, which was not quiet, and gave them the key. The 3 officers went in, and a couple minutes late they came out with the man in handcuffs. He was found with a very big knife on him, but nothing else. I think that's the weirdest part of this whole situation, and the thing that I think about most. The man was hiding in the store with a knife and didn't steal anything. I never seen the man before, so I don't know why he wants to harm me, But it seems like that might be the only explanation. It's scary to think that I could have been just a few feet away from something horrible, but at least now I don't have to worry about what his true intentions were.